Hi, thanks for joining me, Annabella from Bella Yoga. Today I'm just going to do a really rounded practice, so just focusing on a bit of everything, depending on when you're joining me. The last 2 days have been quite meh, so I just thought we would just do something just to do a little bit of everything and just bring a little bit more, a little bit of energy, a little bit of warmth to the body. As always, have my trusted dear friend, the diffuser. I'm putting today just 5 drops of eucalyptus, just because I love that smell of eucalyptus. I find it quite uplifting, but calming as well, because I love that beautiful smell. So getting started on a cushion or on your block, if that feels comfortable, legs are crossed or however you feel comfortable, and just coming into a nice tall seated position, so nice and tall through the spine and nice and relaxed as we get ready to begin our practice. So having our eyes gently closed and just starting to let go of your thoughts of the day, whatever's happened, and just start bringing yourselves to your mat, to your practice, starting to relax and release any tension that you're holding on to, just letting it go as we soften and relax. So just take a few moments just to settle in, having the spine nice and long, the shoulders relaxed and slightly drawn back towards each other, the chin again just having it slightly drawn in so it's not sticking up or down, your neck is nice and relaxed. Hands wherever you feel relaxed, on your lap, on your knees. Chi mudra, if you wish to put in a mudra, just with your thumb and index finger touching lightly the circle of balancing energy. So just starting to feel those sit bones getting a little bit heavier on the floor, on your mat, as your body starts to relax, but still feeling the top of the body staying quite light and long. And you have that core just connecting those two forces together. So have the core just slightly active with the navel slightly going in towards the spine, just to keep you nice and supported. As we take a quick scan through our bodies, so just noticing if we're holding on to any tension through the face, just letting the face relax, the forehead, between the eyebrows, just softening, letting the jaw relax, the small space between your teeth. Neck is relaxed, nice and long as the shoulders relax down and back. No tension through the spine, just relax the chest, the ribs, all the way down to the belly, the pelvis. Feel those sit bones nice and heavy as the glutes relax, the legs relax, and the feet, toes, not forgetting our arms, just nice and relaxed. Feel the hands heavy and relaxed wherever they may be. In your chosen mudra, have fingers relaxed, no tension, just notice our body. And starting to notice our breath. So starting to connect to our breath, starting to slow the breath down, taking longer inhales, longer exhales. So really creating some calmness and stillness in the body and mind with that breath. inhaling nice and long through the nose, trying to draw that breath from your belly. And then exhaling, maybe through the mouth, just a nice big. As you let go of the day, a few more rounds, nice deep breaths in. Filling up that belly to the chest, letting go. 3 more rounds. And when you are exhaling, just let the breath go for as long as you can. So you're really getting as much of that stale breath out. 2 more times as we inhale. Going at your own pace. Take our final yogic breath. Using that diaphragm. Letting go of tension as we come back to our normal breath. Bringing our hands together in front of our heart as we get ready to begin the practice. Just take a little bow to our hands, to our heart. If you want to set an intention, maybe just a little positive word for your practice, for your day, just something that makes you feel good. Just a happy thought. And then let's briskly rub our palms together, starting to feel energy, heat building up between the palms, and then placing those palms over our eyes as we open, blinking back into the light, taking our hands away. We'll begin with our greeting of love and peace. Namaste. And again, thanks for being here. We'll start with a little bit of warming up, but let's uncross and recross our legs in the opposite direction if we've had crossed legs. We'll just start with a few stretches through the neck. So take a nice big breath in as we take the chin out. And then exhaling chin to the chest. So nice gentle movements. Let the shoulders relax. Inhaling, up it goes. Exhaling down. 1 more round. Take a big breath in as we stretch up towards the ceiling. Exhaling it down towards the chest. Come back to center and then just moving from side to side. So just gentle movements. Again, just stretching out, relaxing that neck. And as always, just working with your range of movement, being mindful of any injuries you may have, and then come back to center. Let's take our right arm around our back if we can. Try and grab that hand with the opposite hand. So we're creating a little stretch through the shoulder, through that trapezius, top of the trapezius muscle, and then take that left ear over to the left shoulder. Stays nicely grounded down, nice and tall through the spine, and a stretch through the side of the neck. And just relax it out. Just giving some space. And then come back to center as we switch sides. So this time the left arm goes around. Don't worry if your hands don't come all the way. Just try and clasp wherever you can. Just get that nice gentle stretch through the side, through the top of the shoulder, the neck, and then take the right ear over to the right shoulder and relax. Just for a couple rounds of breath. Good, let's come back to center and just loosen up, rolling those shoulders backwards, maybe bringing the hands onto the shoulders, just circling those elbows, nice big circles. Get some movement through those shoulder blades. And then in the opposite direction, elbows go back and then forward. Just getting some movement through the top of our back, especially if we've been working all day or maybe you've just woken up, and just getting a bit of movement. And then let's come back to center. Let's release those legs, get a bit of movement through the legs, a nice stretch through the legs. Taking the right leg, see if you can support that ankle and knee. Stay up nice and tall, and then just rock the leg up from side to side. So loosening up that hip. Draw the navel in. If you need help, you can just bring your hand to the side. And then let's bring that leg back to center, turning the knee up, and then just move it up and down. Getting rid of any air trapped in our knee joints, any little clicks, just getting them, lubricating that knee joint. Some movement, and then bring that leg back down to the floor. Adjust your sit bones if you need to, if you feel you're sinking away, and just moving from side to side. Loosening up as we bring that knee back to center and just moving it up and down. Good, let's bring that leg back down and let's come up onto our knees, onto our hands. So today, moving through the practice, just go with your speed, your level. If some things are more, you're more advanced in some of the poses, then do go ahead and just use the advanced poses and go straight into them. I tend to take a little bit longer just to give people time to get into poses. So we're in cat-cow, coming for cat-cow and table, with the wrists underneath shoulders, knees hip distance apart. As we inhale, draw the shoulder blades back, tailbone goes up, gazing up towards the ceiling, a nice big stretch. And then as we exhale, tuck the tailbone under towards the chest, stretch between those shoulder blades. Inhaling again, opening up the chest, draw the shoulders back, really stretching that navel down towards the mat. You could maybe tuck your toes under, give them a little stretch. And then as we exhale, flatten the toes, round up the spine as we tuck the tailbone under, chin to the chest. 2 more times, take a nice big breath in, draw those shoulders back, tuck the toes under in your own time, with your own breath, squeezing it out. And go for 1 more round. I'm just going to switch around as we inhale, taking your chest back, looking up, tucking the toes under. And then as you exhale, round up that spine. Nice big stretch here. Let the top of the head shine down towards the floor. And then come back to center. A little bit of movement through the top of that shoulder. So right hand, as we inhale, take it up towards the ceiling. Keep rooting down through the left hand. Try not to collapse over. Possibly you're not going to be able to open up that much through the side. So it's just creating a little bit of space. And then we're going to come into thread the needle. So right hand starts coming underneath, threading it under the left. Palm is facing up. Bring yourselves down onto that right shoulder. Have a quick check that your wrist and shoulder are in a nice straight line, so we're not putting undue pressure on joints. Bring the head down to the mat and just relax here. You can keep continuing to use your left hand to support you or straighten it past your head. And just take a few breaths here in the pose. Just a nice stretch through the back of that shoulder. Keep the hips stacked high over your knees. And then the next breath, use that left hand to help you as we start coming back up. And then bring that right hand down, taking the left one, big stretch over to the side, opening up, rooting down through that right hand, again, wrist underneath shoulder, knees stay hip distance, and then start threading, left hand underneath. Again, a nice straight line from the wrist to the shoulder as we bring ourselves down. Right hand is either supporting you or reaching past your head Whatever feels comfortable, just go for a nice little stretch. Again, try and relax the hand back down onto the floor. Good. Next breath, let's come back up as we bring the hand in front of us and then come into an extended child's pose. So take those sit bones back, reaching forward with our hands. A nice big stretch here through those shoulders. Maybe bringing the hands together and press so fingers are touching. You can maybe bring the hands behind the head to the nape of the neck. Go for a little stretch underneath the armpits. Whatever feels good for you. Just take a nice stretch through your spine. Let those sit bones sink a little bit closer to your heels. If it's uncomfortable in child's pose, you can always put a cushion underneath your seat. And we'll also just take a moment to remind ourselves that child's pose, our go-to pose, if we want to take a break at any point or just don't feel like doing the pose, just come and stay here until you're ready to continue. Let's relax the arms either side or just let go of any tension if you're keeping the hands in front of you into a complete child's pose as you give yourself permission to take that break when you need it. Coming back up onto our hands, onto our knees as we get ready for down dog, spreading out those fingers. Really get the weight rooting down from the tips of your fingers through the knuckles to the base, into the palm, and try and keep yourselves from sinking into those wrists. Tuck the toes under, start tilting the pelvis up towards the ceiling as you flatten the top of your back. Keep the knees soft for the moment as we go for a nice big stretch through that spine. Feel those shoulder blades starting to turn in towards each other. And then start straightening out the legs. So walking them out one at a time, giving those hamstrings a little stretch, a bit of a warm up. So just take your time. Keep rooting through your hands and tilting that tailbone up. Good. Come back to center and let's look towards our hands and just walk through to the top of our mats into a forward bend. We hang. Soften the knees slightly just so you can fold in comfortably. Let your shoulders and hands, arms relax. Just check if you're sinking back. Just bring yourself slightly forward so weight's coming towards your toes too. Halfway lift as we bring the hands to the shins, lengthen the spine. We get ready to start coming up. So soften the knees, roll those shoulders, bring the hands all the way back to the heart. And we will continue with our usual beginning. One round of half sun salutation, one round of full salutation, and just adding a few bits in. So in Tandasana, nice mountain, strong mountain pose, energizing outwards through our feet. Nice engaged core, opening our palms out. So we're opening up our chest, rooting down, lifting up. Let's circle those shoulders back. Take a big circle with those arms, reaching back, draw the navel in, and then start coming through into a forward bend. Fingertips on the mat as we take the right foot back, knees on the mat, chest up, chin up. Get a nice stretch from the shoulders all the way down to the fingertips. Then stepping back into down dog. Palms are on the mat. As we stretch back into down dog. And then we're going to take the right heel up towards the ceiling. And just flip the heel back towards our sit bones. So we're opening up those inner thighs and also opening up slightly through the shoulders. So nice big opening through the right side of the body. So we keep rooting down through our hands and through that left foot. And then start squaring off. Bring the hips into line and then start bringing that right foot through. You may need a couple of steps or one big step. Left knee comes down. And we lift up the chest and the chin. So we're gazing directly in front of us and the shoulders and neck are relaxed. Into a forward bend we step. And start coming up. Roll those shoulders. Use that core to bring us all the way up. Hands come back to the heart. And let's go with the left side. So reaching back. Take a nice big stretch, 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 stretch. Into that forward bend. Take the left leg back, knees on the mat, chest up, chin up. Relax the shoulders, check your bent knees stacked over your ankle or just slightly ahead into down dog as we step back, flattening those palms. And then let's take that left foot up towards the ceiling, right heel down, open up as the left heel flips back towards your sit bones, inner thighs opening up through the underarm, that left underarm. Keep rooting down through your hands, through the right foot, and then squaring off the hips, the shoulders. Bring the left foot through, right knee comes down, lifting up, releasing any tension as we come into a forward bend. Roll the shoulders back, hands come all the way back. And we're going to take a full round of sun salutation. So just continuing on, adding that 8-point pose as we reach back all the way into a forward bend. Right leg goes back, knees on the mat. You can have the knee off the mat if you want to make it that bit stronger for you. Coming into a crescent moon. As we inhale, bring the arms up, palms facing each other, lifting up through the chest, drawing the navel in and the bottom of the ribs. Into down dog, flatten palms on the mat as we step back. 8-point pose, Ashtanga Pranam, brings the knees to the mat. As the elbows bend and go back, touching down chest and chin as we slide the legs back and lift the chest up. It's almost like we're doing it in slow motion. Tuck the toes under, back to down dog. You can come into table before coming into down dog if that's more comfortable. Let's take a big step through with that right foot or a couple of steps as the left knee comes down or staying up and then come up. Crescent moon again as we gaze up to those fingertips. A gentle back bend and then come through into a forward bend as we start rolling the shoulders back. Come all the way back, hands to the heart. And let's end our round with the left side, reaching back. Nice deep back bends as we're warming up that spine into a forward bend. Take the left leg back, knees on or off the mat. Going to come up into cactus arms, so reaching up first, like crescent moon, and then bending the elbows, drawing them back. Elbows are lined up with the shoulders, drawing those shoulder blades back to kiss each other. Open up the chest, ribs popping out, just pop them back in, into down dog. And let's continue, bring the knees to the mat, lowering chest and chin as we touch down. Lengthen the legs back as we lift the chest into a baby or full cobra. Whatever feels good for you, relax the shoulders and the glutes. Tuck the toes under, either table first or straight into down dog. Nice big step through with that left foot. Right knee comes down or off the mat if you want a more dynamic. Bringing the arms up. Cactus arms, bend those elbows, lining up with shoulders. Open up the chest. Draw shoulder blades back. And then come into a forward bend. Good. Let's start coming up as we end off our sun salutations with hands back to the heart. And hopefully we've created a little bit of heat just to keep us going, a little bit of energy. So back into Tandasana with our feet rooted down, lifting up through the core, nice and stable. Interlace fingers as we take the palms up. Relax the shoulders. Palm tree. And then a little swaying palm tree as we stretch over to one side. Keep rooting down through both feet so you're not just falling into the one hip. You're keeping it nice and long through that stretch. So you're floating up through that left leg. Next inhale, come back to center. Reach, reach, reach. Root down through your feet. Reach up through your heart. And then exhale over. And just check out the weight on your feet again. That we're staying nice and lifted through the right side of the body. And then we come back to center, letting go of the fingers, hinging forward from the hips into a right angle pose. Try to flatten out that back. Draw that navel in so the tailbone reaches a little bit further. Soften the knees if you need to so we're not locking knees. And then just reaching the arms forward. Try and kind of draw the shoulders back into their sockets, so we're not just reaching with the arms and losing our neck. We're reaching all the way through the side of the body, lengthen from the top of the head as we lengthen the spine. And then bring the arms around your back, interlace fingers and come into a little forward bend. Just let yourself hang and use those arms to just help you fold in a little bit more. Rooting down through our feet. On our next inhale, start coming all the way. Good. And release. Give ourselves a little shake. And we're going to come into a warrior two. So stepping forward with your left foot. Left foot comes to me if you're going to stay this way. And then right foot is right angle. So it's probably easier for you to see me. I'm going to take myself to the side. So left foot pointing towards me, right foot behind. Let's bend that left knee, root down through that right foot. Keep the hips nice and square. We take the arms off to the sides and just relax the shoulders. Reversing the warrior, right hand goes down the back. Turn that left palm as we take it over the head. Keep rooting down through that bent left foot, through the heel. Open up the ribs. And sorry, I may have confused you at the beginning. So at the moment, we want to have the left foot to me and the right foot 90 degrees behind us. Let's come back up, straighten that left knee. Arms are out to the sides and we're coming into triangle. So reach to your left, drop your left hand down, take the right one up towards the ceiling. Stacking shoulder above shoulder. And over hips as we stay nice and open. Again, top arm is not dropping back. We want to keep it engaged in the socket and reach up towards the ceiling. Our next breath, we'll reverse it into reverse triangle. So legs stay straight, energizing up through the legs, root down through the feet. And just flip it over, right hand down the back leg, left hand over the head. Staying nice and open through the hips. Keep engaging through the outside edge of that right foot. Next inhale, come back up into a warrior two again. So bend that left knee, nice right 90-degree angle. And we extend the warrior. So leaning on the top of that leg, take the right arm past the head. Again, if you want to do it more advanced, you can bring the hand down to the mat. Just try not to fall forward. We want to stay nice and lifted, underarm. Armpit just above the knee. Take a nice big stretch here. And then our next breath, start turning forward as we bring the hands to frame that left foot. So either side of the left foot, turn the back toes so they're coming forward. Either keeping that right knee off the mat or you can bring it down if you want a bit more support. We're going to take a little twist. So right hand is placed on the floor next to the left foot. Left hand goes up towards the ceiling as we take a little twist towards that bent left knee. Again, you can bring that back knee down, or if you've got the knee off the mat, just pushing that heel, energizing that heel back, energizing that shoulder in its socket, and then bring that left hand down and step back into down dog. Nice big step back. A little stretch here, and then let's shift that weight forward into a flow. If you prefer, you can stay there in down dog or go into child's pose. Bring our knees to the mat, bend those elbows backwards as we scoop the chest all the way through into a baby cobra, full cobra, and then tuck the toes under either table or just straight into down dog. And then let's step forward with that right foot between the hands. Back foot comes closer to you as we're closing up the space. We're going to come into a pyramid. So turn the back foot so it's kind of 45-degree angle to the front foot. So if the front foot, if we were a clock, the front foot was a 12. The back one is kind of pointing to 10 o'clock. Either keeping the front leg slightly bent or you can come into full pyramid, straighten the front knee. Hands can land on either side of the leg. If you can't quite reach the mat, you may have a block to help you. And then then just fold in towards that front leg. Let's take a few breaths here. And I stretch through that hamstring and tilting the pelvis slightly up, just to create that length through the base of your spine. We're going to start getting ready to come up into a warrior one. So bend that front leg and then come all the way up into warrior one, relaxing the shoulders here. And then we'll see if we can come into warrior three. So if you've got warrior three into your practice, you can just launch yourself straight in. If not, a nice little balance. Just start bringing the weight onto your right leg. Engage your core, so draw up through your navel, draw up through your pelvis, bring that navel back. And then you can start lifting that back leg up. Try and keep the hips square. So if you're opening up, you start falling. Keep the hips square, internally rotating the thighs, towards each other. And then you can start lifting the back leg. If you do have somewhere near to help you, like a wall, that does make it easier. Or the hands are on your hips, just to keep you nice and square. And you can continue lifting. My balance is not what it is today. Keep lifting, keep engaging that core, keep internally rotating those thighs towards each other. Final thing is to reach the arms up in front of you. Lucky I've got props with me today because I'm having one of those days. And then release. Bringing that leg down, shake up your standing leg. And we're going to get ready to switch sides. So right leg points towards me. The left one goes into 90-degree angle behind it. Heel to heel or heel to instep. Engage that inside of that leg. Take the arms out to the sides. Relax the shoulders. And start off in reverse warrior. Left leg down, left hand down, right arm turns up and over. Bending into that right knee, nice right angle pose, nice right angle through the knee. Coming up, straightening the right leg as we go into triangle, reaching over and down, right hand down, left one up, squaring shoulders, opening up the chest, opening up the hips, keep rooting down through the outside edge of that back foot. Down through all of the front foot. Top arm is nice and engaged in its socket. Into that reverse triangle. So really rooting down through the legs, energizing up as we reverse, switching around. Left arm down again, right one over the head. As always, choose wherever you want to look with your neck. And then warrior two as we come up, release the stretch in that front leg. An extended warrior as we lean on that leg, take the top arm over, or you can take the hand down. Again, try not to fall forward. Want to keep the heart lifted, the spine nice and aligned. So just pick your place. And then we're going to start turning in. So turning down, framing that right foot, hand on either side, turn the back toes forward. Again, keeping the left knee off or on the mat, up to you. We're going to have left hand down on the mat next to the right foot and take the right hand up as we open up towards that right knee into a little twist. And then bring that hand down. Let's step back with that right foot. A nice stretch and down dog. Either staying here, going into child's pose if you need to take a breath, or come with me with a little flow. You can go a little bit stronger if you want into chaturanga. So shifting into a high plank, either bringing the knees down as we've been doing or coming down with the chest, bend the elbows, tilting the chest as it scoops straight through into a baby cobra, full cobra, or even up dog. Again, shoulders relaxed down and back, glutes relaxed, draw the navel in. And then let's come into down dog, tuck the toes under, back to down dog, nice big stretch. And then we'll step through with the left foot, taking the right foot closer to you. Again, bringing the heel down as we turn the right foot out to the side. Again, if we were a clock, back foot would be at 2 o'clock. Straighten the front leg slightly if you can. Into pyramid as we bow in. If hands can't quite be on the mat, just have them on your leg. Keep rooting down through those toes, staying nice and stable. And then let's start coming up into warrior one. So bend that front knee. So again, nice 90 degrees as we come all the way up. Use those arms to bring us up. And then we're going to come into that warrior three from here. So you can go straight into it, or just take your time. Hands come to your hips, start shifting the weight forward. Engage that core. And sometimes going slowly may actually just get in the way and you launch straight into it. Might be easier for you. But just try a few times, getting used to the balance. Keep lifting up that back leg, lengthening through the spine. Final thing is arms out in front of you. Keep reaching, keep internally rotating those hips in towards each other. Stay nice and lifted through your standing leg. Try it as many times as you need to. And then let's start coming back up. Great. Nice and slowly. Shake out that standing leg. Good. It's coming to a wide-legged pose this time. So take a nice big wide stance. Feet are parallel, slightly pigeon-toed even, just to get that engagement through the legs outside of the foot, so we're not collapsing into knees or ankles. Chest is nice and open. Reaching up into that right angle pose. This time, wide legs, draw, coming down, hinging from the hips. Tailbone reaches back, lengthening the spine through the top crown of your head, reaching forward, lengthening back, and then lengthening out. So lots of lengthening, engaging, rooting as we make space. And then bring the hands all the way, either side of the legs, outside of the legs, and just let yourselves hang. And then bring the hands to the floor, soften the knees if you need to, and we're going to walk the legs out from side to side. So coming into a few squats in a moment, we're just going to walk the legs out from side to side, give them a little stretch, warming them up before we come into a side squat. So moving over to your right knee, you can come onto the ball of that right foot and then flip your left foot up towards the ceiling. So on that heel and just holding it here. So get a nice stretch through the back of the leg. You may be able to bring that opposite foot slightly forward to release the back of the heel onto the floor. So give that a try. If not, just stay on the ball of your foot. I'm going to try and get some stretch through the back of the leg as we're just going to go into Malasana in a moment, a yogic squat, which having the stretch, the looseness through the back of that leg, of the legs, will help us not to damage those Achilles tendons. Coming back to center, lower that foot down. Come back to center, align your feet again. And we'll shift over to the opposite side, so to the left side, and then flip those right toes up. Again, take a moment to adjust that right foot if you can, if it helps you, but try not to collapse into the instep. Again, it's just a nice release through the back of the foot. Use the hands to support you and create that length. And then let's come back to center. Good. Line up those feet. Walk out the legs again from side to side. And then we're going to bring those ankles in slightly closer to us. Maybe have the feet slightly turned out this time to give us more room through the back of the legs this time, rather than wanting to root down through the outside. We're just trying to loosen up the back of the legs so we can come into the full yogic squat. We'll just go into a normal squat, so kind of an aerobic squat, or if you're in a gym, kind of squat. So you're going to start bending your knees, having the weight going back. We want to line up the hips with the knees if we can. So it's almost like you're coming to sit on a chair. You can either have the hands supporting you on the floor, you can bring your hands in front if you want to make it more dynamic, or just rest them on your legs. Just trying to keep the hips high and just create some length through the back of the legs. Create some tension through the legs, get them active again, especially if you've been sitting all day. If you have been standing, again in one position, it's just trying to get a little bit of action through the legs. And then release, straighten the knees, maybe walk the legs out from side to side, just get that blood circulating again. And then let's come into that yogic squat. So bring the feet, the ankles closer to you, still wider than your hips. And you know what your version is. You've done this before, where you need to have your ankles, your feet, but just have them a bit wider than your hips to start off with, and then you can always play around with your feet. So start coming all the way down, lowering the pelvis all the way down. Try and root down through the feet so you're not just sinking back. Try and get some assistance with your toes as well. If your heels are comfortable on the floor, or you may be able to put some cushioning underneath, just so your heels, as long as they support it, that's fine, because then we're not going to cause any injury to our Achilles tendon. You can take your hands off the floor if your heels are supported with something underneath. You can always roll up your mat if you're using a mat to bring under your heels. If they're not quite on the floor, just use your hands to keep you supported inside of the arms, on the inside of the legs, just helping you straighten up the spine a bit more and drop your pelvis a little bit further. Keep rooting up through that core, through that pelvic floor. So now knees can be dodgy, so if you need to just stand up and come back down, just go for a few times, but try and settle in and let go of the tension. Try and relax. As long as you're not feeling any sharp pains, any numbness, just try and get used to this pose, as it's so good for you, especially if you're sitting at a desk or sitting down a lot during the day. It just really gets the legs active again and energized. Keep straightening up that spine, using those hands. If you've got your hands off the mat, off the floor, you can always bring them in prayer and energize those hands together. And you're kind of pushing your elbows, your arms into the inside of your legs, and your legs pushing against the arms. So we're creating a little force of energy, a little bit of heat, as we just hold the pose here just for a few breaths more. And then release. Bring the hands to the mat, straighten the legs, walking them out, and let's step into down dog. So wherever you need to shift yourself and put yourself into down dog, nice comfortable down dog. Get a nice stretch through the back of those legs, root down those palms, fingers, palms on the mat. Root down those feet. You can always lift your toes up to really give you a good stretch through the back of your legs, especially if you have tight hamstrings. It just helps you release them a little bit more. Good. And then let's come down onto the mat and come and sit into butterfly Baddha, just to give ourselves a little bit of relief through the pelvis, through the legs. So just a little bouncing up and down. Staying up nice and tall. If you can't quite reach your feet, just hold on to your ankles to keep you nice and tall, so we're not collapsing into our waist. And just release any tension as you bounce those knees up and down. Just like little butterflies fluttering away with the tension. And then let's start slowing it down until we come to complete stop. And we're going to I'm going to shift myself to the side just so you can see me. So before I go, you're going to have the right leg in front of you, left leg inside of the foot, the inside of the leg. So I'm just going to switch myself over here. And then we're going to take, so just watch me for a moment. We're going to take the left hand behind, and then we're either taking the right one over the head and lengthening through the right foot, through the right hand, or you can go into the half version of wild thing and lift your pelvis up. So take a nice big breath in, decide which version you want to do, and let's inhale and reach up. Again, check your shoulders over the wrist on the mat, and you're lengthening through the front of that leg. Try and get the toes down onto the floor and keep lifting that pelvis up. And then release. Bring the pelvis down, release the hand behind you. Take a moment just to straighten out the leg if they have gone a bit out to the side, onto the tips of our sit bones, and we'll come into a little forward bend, relaxing forward. Let the shoulders and the arms relax, and the neck and the back. And then coming back up to seated. And we'll end with a little twist. So we're going to take our right arm across to the left knee, take the left arm behind. The closer you have the arm behind you, helps you give a bit more lift so your spine is nice and straight, and the shoulders. If you're taking it further back, you want to root down through the fingers so you're not collapsing back, you're staying nice and tall. So find the version that works for you, but keep the spine nice and long and start twisting. The neck twists last to look behind. Again, make the twist as full or as soft as you want to. You can go for the twist all the way around, or just take a half twist. Just work with your range of movement, what feels good for you today. Try and keep the hips square so we're not twisting from the hips as well, we're just twisting from the spine. Every time you're inhaling, you're lengthening up through that spine. Exhaling, you're relaxing or taking the twist a bit further. With our final breath in the pose, take a nice long breath in. The last exhale. And then release. Release the twist. Maybe take a little counter twist to the other side. If you've been really twisting around, just release and get ready to switch sides. So this time, left leg straightens as the right one comes in. Adjust your sit bones, get that toe and navel lined up so we're nice and straight. The idea is to stay in this position as we go back and then try and be in the same position as we come down and come forward. So taking right hand behind us, inhaling, either just a little back bend, no problem, or taking it a bit further, lift up that pelvis, keep reaching through that left leg, taking a check down, so we're rooting down through our hand and not compromising the wrist and shoulder as they one stacked above the other. Keep lifting, keeping the glutes relaxed, gazing back if that feels comfortable. And then release. Come back to center. Take a moment to shift your leg if you need to, and then relax forward. Whichever version of forward. So depending on whether you have a front folding body or a back folding body, will kind of decide how deep, how far you can go in a pose really. So just relax into a forward bend. And then let's end with that little twist as we come back to seated. Take left arm across to the right knee, take the right arm behind. Getting nice and tall through that spine, nice and long through the neck as we start turning. And the head gazes back at the end. Every time you're inhaling, you just feel like someone's lifting you that little bit more. And every time you're exhaling, you're just relaxing into the twist. Final breath. In the pose as we exhale. And then release. Again, if you need to, take that little counter twist to the other side before coming back to center into upside down table. So just bring those feet towards you. Bring the hands behind you. fingers pointing towards you to the side or back. Take a nice big breath in, root down through the hands, through the feet, so knees aren't dropping out, they're staying nice and stable. And lift up through the pelvis, drawing shoulders back, straightening up that spine. Keep those glutes nice and relaxed. And then release. Bring the pelvis back down, straighten out those legs. And we're going to come and lie on our bellies into Sphinx. So coming to lie down, front of our body, prone, as we bring shoulders, elbows under shoulders, and then hands are nice and flat, arms are nice and flat on the mat supporting us. Trying to keep the legs at about hip distance apart. We're going to come into some forearm plank and side planks. If you do find it too difficult in full plank, keep your knees on the mat to support you. If you find this too hard, especially for your back or anything like that, then just continue here in Sphinx or come into Fallen Angel for a bit with the elbows slightly further ahead, hands resting on your shoulders. Give yourselves a little break. Otherwise, we will continue, as I said, just doing a nice rounded practice, so just a little bit of strength. We tuck the toes under into a forearm plank, so start engaging through the core as you exhale and lift the body up. Push those heels away, push down through, energize through your arms, through the top of your shoulders, so you kind of feel like you're hollowing the top of your shoulders out. Keep engaging the core. Bring the knees down if you need to. And we're just going to shift over to our right side. So to the right arm, we're going to use our left hand to support us. So left hand arm straightens. As we shift to the right arm, come onto the outside of your right foot. Use that left hand to keep you supported. Again, you can always bring the knee down and come in it that way. And then just holding here, keep engaging through that core. And then come back to center. Again, shift your feet. If you need your knees to help you, use them. Come back into that forearm plank, having the feet hip distance, pushing the heels back, root down through the hands. Get ready to shift to your left side. Use the right hand to root down to help you stay lifted and engage that core. Use the knees or take a break, child's pose if you want to. And then come back to center again, shifting. Forearms, come down and relax. Make a pillow with your hands. Relax those shoulders, relax the back, relax the breath. And release. Just getting a little bit of energy back into our lives today after these 2 rainy days. We hope the weather will change. And then we're going to come into a baby cobra. So bring the hands, the fingertips are just underneath your shoulders. Bring the elbows in to just support you either side of your ribs, so they're nicely supported on either side of your body. Nice big breath in as we start lifting the top of the chest. Again, the more apart your legs are, the less intense the back bend. The more together, the more intense it'll be. And then release. Getting ready for another round, lifting up, inhaling. As you exhale, draw the navel in and hold the pose for a moment. And then release. Coming up on the inhale. Exhale, draw that navel in, hold the pose. And then maybe take it into a full cobra and hold the pose here for a moment. Make it a little bit more intense. We'll just continue for a few rounds of breath in baby cobra. Keep the glutes relaxed, the shoulders, just draw them back. You can have the arms straightened. I prefer to have them slightly bent because I feel that gives my back a little bit more support. Keep drawing the navel in and up as you draw up through the pelvis. And then relax. Bring yourselves down. Make a little pillow with your hands. Rock out your back. And then we'll shift the bend to the bottom part. So we're going to use our legs as we come into a half locust pose to bring the hands, palms are facing up as you bring them underneath the front of your legs to support your thighs. Again, option to use your hands. Don't feel you need to. If you're more advanced and you can go straight in, or you might be able to do both legs together, then do go ahead and just adjust the practice to your level, either on your chin or on your forehead, or you can be slightly lifted through the chest if you want to make it a little bit stronger. Take a nice big breath in. Right leg lifts up as we exhale and draw the navel in. Take that right leg up. Use the right hand to support you if you need the support. Just for a few rounds of breath. And release. Relax the back as we get ready to go with the left side. Nice big breath in. Exhale, draw the navel in, lift that left leg up. Use the hand to support you if you need it. If you don't, the hand just stays down. The little compression on that wrist is also quite therapeutic if you have carpal tunnel. And just keep lifting the leg, keeping the hips square, and then release. Leg comes down. Let's make that pillow with our hands one last time. Rock out the back, or even windscreen wipering the legs if that feels better for your back. And then let's push ourselves back into child's pose. Give our backs a nice little stretch. So coming up, a wide leg as we bring, if you can, knees are apart. Bring the big toes together and come back into a nice child's pose. Really lengthen through that spine. Let the chest relax down. Arms are either in front of you or to the side, whatever feels comfortable. You can always put a cushion under your forehead or under your seat. Make yourselves nice and comfortable. Nice length through that spine. Connect back to your breath through the back of your body. And just gently relax. Feel the stretch up and down your spine. Inhaling and exhaling. And then our next breath, let's start coming back up to seated. We're going to come and lie on our mats, on our backs this time. Into a bridge pose, so keep the feet on the floor, knees hip distance apart. Again, like upside down table, we root down through our feet. This time though, try and get the heels as close to you as you can, and then bring your hands to either side and root down through the hands. As we shift the weight up, it's going to come onto our shoulders. We're shifting ourselves slightly back, which is why we have the heels closer. So when we go back, then the knees will shift to just above the ankles. Hopefully, they'll be nicely lined up. So take a nice big breath in. Leading on that exhale, lift up the pelvis. Get the weight shifting up towards your shoulders. Keep lifting up. Keep the glutes relaxed as we try and drive up through the spine using the muscles in our back. Keep shifting the weight, root down through the feet so the legs are nicely supported and then knees are not dropping out. And then release, bringing the pelvis down. Take the feet so they're slightly wider than your hips, wider than your mat. Drop knees into each other. Just release your spine. And we'll do another round. If you want to take it a little bit higher, a little bit further, just give yourselves another round. So come back to center, bring those knees, feet in, and knees hip distance apart. Heels in as we bring the hands to either side. Root down, take a big breath in. And then lift up through the pelvis again. Bring that weight up to your shoulders. You can bring, if you want to do a supported bridge, just a couple of cushions or a block underneath your sacrum, and you can stay there in that pose instead.
Otherwise, you could interlace your hands underneath your back, and that really helps bring the weight up to your shoulders. Draw the chin in towards your chest. Keep lifting up, keeping the glutes as relaxed as you can. They will tense up as naturally as the movement from the legs just makes them tense up automatically. And then release. Hands come to the sides. Take the feet out. Drop the knees in. Relax the back. And we'll come into happy baby. So bringing the feet in towards each other as we bring the knees up. Try and get the knees so they're heading towards your underarms. So you've got a bit of space between the legs. And then see if you can start taking the feet up towards the ceiling. Still having a bend in the knees, we're not straightening the legs. So again, it's kind of more or less a 90-degree angle here. Feet are up towards the ceiling. You can see if you can grab the outside of your feet or the inside of your feet, or you could just grab the back of your legs if that feels more comfortable. Just grabbing the feet helps you draw the knees down towards you. And just gives you more of a stretch through your back. Maybe rock from side to side. Give the spine a little full massage all the way from one side to the other. Good. Coming back to center, just hold it here for a few breaths. And as we start winding our practice down, we're going to come into a wide leg supine spinal twist. So release the feet, bring them back down onto the mat, still having the knees bent. Outside edges of your feet are slightly wider than the hips or the mat. We're going to take our arms out to the sides with the palms facing up, just so that your shoulders relax down, and then drop your knees to your left or whichever side you want to go to first. Shift your shoulders so they're nice and relaxed. And then see if you want to just look in the opposite direction. So if knees fell to the left, just looking to your right. Get a little twist through the spine. And just settle in as you exhale. Just settle into that twist, letting go of any tension. And then our next breath, bring the head back to center, bring the knees back to center, shifting the pelvis, aligning the spine, get that space between the legs again, and then drop the knees again over to the opposite side, so to your right, adjust your shoulders, top of your back, and just look to your left and relax. Take a few breaths. Letting go of any tension as you soften and release into that twist. And then bring that neck back to center. Bring the knees back to center. Adjust your pelvis, bring the knees up towards your chest, take your arms around your legs, take a nice big breath in, and then as you exhale, squeeze those legs into your abdomen, squeezing out that breath, letting the spine relax down onto the floor, to the mat, and then release your legs. We're going to get ready to end our practice. In Shavasana, corpse pose, so straighten out the legs, making space. Let the ankles just drop out, the feet drop out to the sides. You do want to get a blanket to make yourselves warmer, or any cushions, anything to make yourselves more comfortable. Again, maybe put some music on for the next few minutes. I'll talk you through 1 minute of Shavasana, and then I will leave you And you can choose to continue. So maybe put a timer if you want to continue, or put some music, and then settle into your practice. Having the chin slightly tilted in so your neck is relaxed. And just starting to soften and relax the body again, letting go of any last bits of tension, any last lingering thoughts. As you soften and relax, let your body get heavier as you relax and let go. Legs are gently relaxed. Just let them feel heavy as they totally relax. Pelvis is relaxed. Just letting the tummy feel heavy as it relaxes down, letting your pelvis relax. Spine is relaxed. Just drawing you down closer to the floor as you let your ribs relax and your chest relaxes. Each exhale just lets you relax that little bit more. Your shoulders relax and your arms just soften and relax. Fingers gently relax. Just feel yourselves totally relaxing as your face relaxes. That gentle space between your teeth relaxes your jaw, letting your forehead relax, eyebrows, just letting go, eyes relax, just feeling them heavier into their sockets as your face completely relaxes. Just feel like your skin is totally relaxed, just gently letting you get that little bit heavier as you relax. Let your thoughts go as your mind relaxes. And I will leave you here in Shavasana. Thank you again for joining me. And if you do like the practice, please do recommend it to others who you feel may benefit from it. So thank you so much. As I leave you here with love and peace, love for ourselves, love for each other, love for our planet. Namaste. Thank you.